Hello, guys, and welcome back to Joe's Adventures. And today we're going to be doing another episode of Prehistoric Kingdom. So, what's really cool is that for Gamescon, as we know, one of the biggest gaming events of the year, they have actually released a closed beta announcement. So, this will be a trailer that they've had here that they've announced to give us the closed beta and also a new release date for Prehistoric Kingdom, which we have a look through at the end of the trailer. So yeah, what we're going to do first is we're going to have a look through the trailer, watch it silent, and then we're going to have a little deep dive discussion and go through it and talk about what we've seen. So that'll be cool. And yeah, I think that'll be good enough to go from that. So yeah, let's go. So there we are. Wonderful, cute little trailer. So we're going to start off, we're going to have a look at the release dates that's been changed. So we'll go back here. So the early access release date has been changed to sometime in April 2022, which I think is for the best. I think the two main reasons that is going to be great is because it gives the devs obviously more time to put together a nice product for us to show off, and obviously if people are paying for the early access, want to make it as appealing as possible. And with Jurassic World Evolution 2 coming out now, we know at the 9th of November, I think it'd be a much better way to space themselves out so you don't have lots of people. Because sometimes if you go too close release date to a game that's similar to you, you can have competition and it can hurt either one of them or both of them. So I think spacing themselves out is a really good idea. And we've also got another announcement for the closed beta. So if you guys either paid for the Critivo special things or the Kickstarter back in 2017, I think it was, you will be able to play the closed beta, so that'll be released to you on December 6th. So that's pretty cool. So let's get through the animals. Let's start from the beginning. So look at that. We can look at this. We can see almost like this wonderful savanna feeling going on. I'm not sure if it's actually a different map. Might be. But really, you just kind of change the colors and you make it savanna. It looks really, really nice as it is, though. I love the savanna concept. You can have dinosaurs everywhere. You can see a wonderful Torvosaurus. We'll get him while he's there. Torvosaurus, I think, is a really cool addition. Torvosaurus is a large carnivore from the late Jurassic. He's found in the Morrison and the Loharina Formation in Europe, and I think also in Africa, or a close relative or something. Not entirely sure about the Africa part, but this is a really, really cool animal. And I think what's really cool that differentiates it from the other theropods in the game, because in a dinosaur game, you're going to have some large theropods, of course. It's got this ridge of spines down the back. I think that really gives it a lot of character. And plus, it's a megalosaurid, so it's like an early relative of the Spinosaurids, and kind of almost took the role of a Tyrannosaurus before Tyrannosaurus. It was kind of the big bruiser. Lived with animals like Allosaurus and Stegosaurus and Brachiosaurus and things like that. Miragaia in Europe. Pretty cool animal, and I think a worthy addition to Prehistoric Kingdom. And now we see T-Rex, as per usual, everyone's favourite big bad. And we can see the feather skin, this is the Brumal skin, looking great as per always, scaring away the other theropod, the other Torvosaurus. It's a big bully, eh? But I just love these rocks and these plants. I think this is actually still the tropical map. Maybe just because it's a late afternoon, it looks like it. But if it was a savanna map, I think that looked great. So yeah, we can see that we've got like a new theme going. We can see this like sort of tropical theme. I really, really love it. We can see it's like this hatching of the roofs here. So it's like something you'd find in a resort in like Central or South America. It looks really nice with the little fire things. I don't know what you call them, like little lanterns on the fences as well. This is a really nice fence design. I really hope this is. This seems like to me one of normal fences, but it'd be cool to have the option for modular. Also, these kind of tropical benches look really, really nice. Look out onto the area there, like a little rest area on this in this wonderful river here. Looks really, really nice. I really like how they use the path as well, because guests aren't required to walk on paths. They just need to walk on something that's a flat surface. So I think adding these rocks here and putting them down really makes a really nice like path, modular path, which I think is really, really cool. So those are pretty cool. So we can see here we've got different statues that we can use here. We've got mammoths. We've got triceratops here. Oh, did I get it? There we are, triceratops. And Tyrannosaurus. And you can see there's life size, so that's how big they are compared to people. I think it's cool because also it gives them a sense of scale next to the people. We can see how large a Triceratops or a mammoth is. Just wait until we get like Brachiosaurus and Archaeopteryx. There's going to be some huge models. So that's going to be really cool to put in front of people. And you can also change not just the animal, you can change the poses. We can see here we've got 3 different poses for Tyrannosaurus, I think. So look, we go, look, let's go back. See, look, we've got 3 poses. We've got one lying down, one roaring, one standing up like this. And just look how big Tyrannosaurus is. Wonderful animal. And you can also change the colors and stuff of it. So you can see this one looks like to be like kind of like a concrete or plaster. This one seems to be like a bronze sculpture. This one seems to be a lot more iron or something. I think that looks really nice. So you can change it around. Looks really good. You put your nice sculptures out. And yeah, we're going to move on to the next bit. So yeah, we can see that was the house that they built earlier. We can see more going up. We can see the straw hatching of the roofs, along with this little like bamboo faux thing we've got going on here. I like that. Another little lantern, more benches and trash cans. I really like how they did this fence here. It's like a little moat, and then we have this viewing area for these look like Protoceratops. And you can see that's because it's off of your moat. They don't need to be strong fences. You can get up there. Also, these logs here looks like a log fence that looks really nice, and that's kind of like your normal fence back there. Also, you can see this cool bridge thing going on. I love this fence that they got going on here. I like the arrows and stuff. It looks nice. I like that. And this rest area here, and we can see we've got almost like a little aviary thing going on here. We'll get onto him soon. This looks like a custom-made aviary. I think that looks really, really nice. I love being able to make like custom-made aviaries. I think that's just so awesome. And yeah, we're going to move on to the next image. And look at that. Isn't mammoths adorable? That looks like a wonderful mammoth. And then we can see we can just build it like that. We can see the tarps that come back for shelter. Also this cool shelter here with the straw hatching. Happy mammoth, happy life. And we can see we can change all the different terrain and stuff that we obviously know that we can do from the alpha. Where we can have all these different trees. And also look at these wonderful trees that lay here. Some water. Looks really wonderful. Happy mammoth. And we can also recolor now, because then those were just grey in the alpha. These guys are obviously yellow, so you can recolor now again. And look how cute. Isn't that cute? Let's go back. We'll talk about him soon. We can see we've got the different mammoth colors. We can see the black one, the brown one, and kind of like the lighter color. It looks really, really nice, like the ginger. Really love how they do the hair as well. Seeing the hair on the mammoth is just I never thought we were going to get a fur shader, but we did. But we can also see the back here. I really love these logs here. That'd be great for making... If we could place that like a fence, I think that'd be really cool. Because often zoos, when they have big animals like rhinos or elephants, they want something that if you're in the enclosure with the animal, you can just slide through quick, but the animal can't get to you. So if you have like wide poles that a person can run through if they need to, but the animal inside, like a rhinoceros, can't, it's very good for keeper safety. So having something like that, I think, would be really cool for Prehistoric Kingdom. We can see this cool shelter they made with like the pillars and stuff. Looks really nice. And we can see here we got a waterfall. And waterfalls are always great, so they always make enclosures look like 9 times better. So yeah, I think we'll carry on and just marvel at the waterfall and our wonderful mammoths. And look at this. We have got a little Archaeopteryx. So this is what it is. Look at this cutie. I just love the design of this guy. So look, we'll get a better picture of him. No. Look at this guy. How can you not love him? I love the colors. You can see he's got white with dark. I believe this is the male. Usually the males are the brightest. And you can see this fleck of blue you can see in the feathers. I think that came out really, really nice. So you can see here, this is the male. The male's the bright one with the bright tail and the white, and the female's much more drab. But still, obviously, females are very important. How can you not love sexual dimorphism? It's always cool to see that, especially when people put the effort in. And plus, a lot of birds are sexually dimorphic, so it's very, very possible that most dinosaurs, if not a lot of dinosaurs, were. And then look, we had a power outage. So that introducing the mechanic of managing power and stuff. That's something that'll be coming in the beta. So now you can have storms and such, but it'll break your power generators and things. So you're going to have to go and fix that yourself. Another thing to manage. And look at this. How can you not love Dinosaurus? So we have got a wonderful animal here. We can see the protoceratops in the background being in the back. So we've got really 2 new skins that I think look really cool. So we have got this really nice skin here of feathers. So this is the new one. And then we got this featherless one, which I think... I'll get into the science of this soon, but I think that's really cool. So I think this one looks nice. I like the colors of it. It's like a much more drab. I do like that one. So we'll talk about it. So there have been some hypotheses or kind of ideas with some evidence. There hasn't been like any really published papers or anything, but there is kind of a general rule that seems to be coming up that dinosaurs, if we assume they have obviously ectotherms, which is very much likely the case, endotherms. They're very likely endotherms because of just being large. Most large animals like that tend to be endotherms, and by their bone growth, it seems that they were growing very fast, unlike something like a crocodile. So it seems like they were endotherms, and having feathers is obviously, or fur is obviously a very insulating thing. So there has been come up with kind of a hypothesis that really, if a dinosaur had feathers, there's kind of an upper size limit of how big an animal can be and have feathers. And that general estimate, it's obviously would change because obviously not all dinosaurs or all mammals even have the same resting metabolic rate. Even animals that are warm-blooded can have lower metabolic rates, such as sloths and anteaters, along with monotremes like platypus and echidna. Those are good examples. Koalas as well. There is variation within that, but the general estimate seems to be about 3 tons. And that is comparable to Yutyrannus, which is the largest known dinosaur that has feathers. And it covers pretty much all its body. Plus it lived in a slightly snow environment, so that could play a factor. But the general estimate is about 3 tons. So obviously that includes a lot of the large theropods from having feathers, if that is hypothesis turns out to be true, which includes obviously Tyrannosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus and Giganotosaurus and potentially Allosaurus and animals like that. But it also includes animals that are very close ancestors that have feathers, such as Therizinosaurus, Dinosaurus. Those are good examples. So that's a worthy hypothesis as well. So I think it's really cool that they kind of went with that. It's kind of the opposite logic from uh, the Pachyrhinosaurus, which I mentioned a while ago. That guy has got obviously feathers deep in its ancestry with Psittacosaurus and Tenenulong and Calendrodromius. But it's still that kind of speculation, but kind of flipped, which I think is really, really cool. So yeah, I think it's cool to give it a new skin. I do like it. I think it's really cool. In terms of science, if you want to be accurate or have whatever you want to close to be that, because you're never going to be accurate with dinosaurs unless you see one, study one, like in person. But I think this one's probably the more likely scientifically than the Pachyrhinosaurus, because, of course, we didn't really have the habitats that were conducive to evolving a thick fur coat in the late Cretaceous. It was cold, like there would snow at nights, there would be cool winters, but it'd be nowhere near the kind of winters that we get today in Canada. It'd be more similar to like southern China or even places not much warmer, cooler than that. So being a big animal, also having big like a woolly coat like a woolly mammoth, is probably not the most likely thing. But still a cool design, and I do like it. So we're going to be carrying on. Really nice Dinosaurus. And then you see here, as I mentioned him, the Pachyrhinosaurus. We can see the 3 different alt species. I forgot them in order, so it's like Canadensis, Lashuri, I think, and Pelatorum. Yep. I think I got that right because Lashkri has the 3 horns there. That's how you identify it. And Pelatorum is the furry one, so that must be the Canadensis that we go back here. See, don't I know my dinosaurs? I didn't even know that, but I thought, yep, that's it. So that must be right. So we can see the different variations here. We've already kind of talked about it, but I just love it. Really nice. Love the scale detail. Looks awesome. And also, how can you not love the beard of this? Where is he? I love this guy's fluffy beard. He's got a big fluffy beard. I want to give him a cuddle. A really nice model. I love it. Looks awesome. Not the most accurate, but I love it. I love it. And then we can see here. We'll go back here a bit. It shows off a cute little animation. This is Walkeri, Parasaurolophus walkeri, I believe. We can see he's having a good scratch. How can he not resist a good scratch? We can see this one's got a much brighter crest. Probably male and female. And looks wonderful. And then we can see another nice Camarosaurus. I love the skin. Really fits well with the swampy environment. Really nice Camarosaurus. Clearly they do love their swamps. Clearly very happy animals. 2 very wonderful animals coming to the game. And then we see here another one that we've seen before, Protoceratops. The little ancestor. And what I really love about this design is like the taller spines at the back, that because it's almost become kind of a meme, paleo meme you could say, with Psittacosaurus having the filaments on its tail. I think these guys really did a really unique thing and flipped it on its head. Rather than making it feather filaments, they kind of just did it like iguana scales, and I think that looks quite a bit nicer. Like, he kind of had the same concept but do it in a different way. I think that's really creative, and Protoceratops is a very cool little dinosaur. And then we have another Camarosaurus skin. We could see that one was a lot more greenish. This one's obviously a lot more reddish. I love the like little patterns on it. It's almost like a giraffe. I think, what does it remind? It reminds me of a tegu. I really like that coloration. I think it was really nice. So yeah, that's the trailer. And we'll talk a little bit about the new animal we introduced. Got Archaeopteryx. Oh, he's a bit big, so let's make it smaller. Wonderful, cool little animal. So Archaeopteryx, I think, is a really wonderful addition, just because it's so... Not only is it like incredibly cute, but it's also incredibly old and famous. It's a very important history, a very important animal. because you have this guy was first discovered in 1861, and that was pretty much only some full specimens as well. But also, it was discovered pretty much just 2 years after Charles Darwin basically shook the world with his theory of natural selection. And a lot of people were like, well, how did that work? And they were just figuring it out. And then they found this guy. And this was pretty much like arguing, are dinosaurs birds? And we all know now that's pretty much just the fact that birds are dinosaurs. But back then, and even as recently as like the early 19th century or the early 20th century, that was very, very controversial. But we already had kind of the answers looking at us. There were a lot of people like Richard Owen, who was very much into the animals were created how they are. And other people like Thomas Huxley, who's also known as Darwin's bulldog. He was also a very big fan of evolution and natural selection. Just a lot of people do not want to think as birds as dinosaurs. But the evidence just kept mounting and mounting. And then we have this guy. So where was he found? He was found in Germany. He's from the Solnhofen Formation, which is a Lagerstätten, which is, I think, German for basically just like a place with lots and lots of really nice fossils. And then we have all these wonderful colors and such. Not colors, feathers and such. Bunch of different specimens, very, very well known. And they are pretty small too. They're about the size of a raven. So their body length could reach up about 500 millimeters or 20 inches, with the largest estimated mass about a kilogram. So not the hugest birds, perfect for a mini exhibit, comparable in size to things like Microraptor, probably even a bit smaller or a bit bigger, just depends. And you can see here there is some evidence of coloration. There has been some evidence to suggest that they may have been entirely black, similar in case to Microraptor, but I think they kind of flipped it on its head here. I think it's cool that they kind of gave it to a female, and the experience with the male really differentiates it from Microraptor instead of just making them all black. A really, really cool animal. But yeah, so this guy isn't very important in the history and such. So I think this would be a good place to end the video. Oh, no, wait, I got to talk about how it flies. This was also believed to be kind of a weak flyer. There's been a lot of study into that, since it's obviously able to live in these islands, and some biomechanical studies. Probably wasn't, there is some contention whether it was true flight or was it a glide or whatever the case was. It's clearly was pretty proficient in the air to some extent. But yeah, and we also know a lot of study about its growth, its ecology. We know that it lived in the Solnhofen limestone. It was kind of, imagine Florida, but in the late Jurassic or early Jurassic, or just in the Jurassic. It fed on like lots of small pterosaurs, lizards, insects, pretty much whatever it could, and lived in like sort of the semi-arid area. And yeah, there's really a lot that we know about Archaeopteryx. I think it's a really cool little animal. So yeah, this will be the time I'll end the video. I don't need to jump conclusively. So yeah, I really, really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to click that little bell icon to get notified when uploading anything. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.